right, everybody. Welcome back to Star Wars Talk. We had a busy weekend. It seems like Disney is bound and determined to just blitz this new Star Wars movie. So we had a couple of new TV spots and a clip. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first new TV spot here, got a new shot of BB-8 there. We've seen that shot before, and seen that shot before. This is new. Look, got some great new shots of the X-Wing pilots there. Our friend from Return of the Jedi is back. And seen that before. Awesome new view of that fight. Seen all that before. So, talking about maybe 2 seconds of new footage, but it was great. It was just great, Here we have we do have some new, I'm not playing the audio, but that's a new shot. We do have some new voiceover there, so go and listen to it on your own. New shot of Kylo, that's cool. And new shot of BB-8 there. That's really cool. I had heard that they were going to do kind of a Nazi-like theme. So not a whole lot there. And then here we are. Here we have the clip. And again, this is all stuff we saw in the actual teaser. So not really anything new except we got to actually hear the audio. So that's great. I mean, this is what I'm loving about Disney. They're giving us just little bits of pieces of new stuff, not really spoiling the movie for anybody, not really doing anything that is going to give away the story, as I've said before. So really great. I love that new shot of the fight with Finn and the Stormtrooper. You get to kind of see the way that JJ is going to shoot that fight sequence, and just a little bit grittier, not as polished as like Lucas was doing his lightsaber fights. Really loving that. That shot of the First Order, you can really see that Nazi mentality that JJ said that he kind of wanted to bring to the way the new First Order would be, and there it is. You see them raising their fists and just acting exactly like the Nazis would. So you can definitely see the way that they're going to be. And again, other than that, like I said, the actual clip itself is not. I mean, I think we've seen every single shot of that clip, with the exception of the voice, them talking. I've seen a lot of the fanboys just complaining that Finn sounds like he's overacting. I'm fairly certain, and granted, we're in a fantasy world, but let's just put you in the real world. Let's stick you out in Iraq and have a couple of jet airplanes follow you around and shoot missiles at you, and let's see if you don't just sit down into the sand and just drop a load in your pants. Because I'm fairly certain you'd be screaming and shouting the same way he was. So let's not overreact to a sequence where I'm fairly certain at that point you will have bought into how much he's been running and what else was going on. I mean, we've seen other clips of that sequence there where you find out, that he's running from the First Order, and, I'm sure the guy's running for his life. And as I said, I really think that he's going to come from a place where he's afraid to fight to part of that growth. And again, this sustains what I've been saying all along for him as a character, is he's not going to be a fighter in the beginning. He's been trained to fight, but he's not a fighter. And so he doesn't have that mentality in him, I don't think, yet, to where he's a stand and fight type person. But that changes towards the end of the film. And then with Rey, she's been on her own for so long. She's a survivor, so she knows how to do it. You do find out that she's a pilot in that sequence, so that is about the newest thing that you get. But again, we've already seen images of her in the Millennium Falcon, so we know that she is a pilot. So it's not really anything spoiling anything for anybody here. No big reveals out of this stuff. I'm really surprised. I said last week I didn't think they were going to do many more TV spots because they'd already done 6, And that seems like plenty. Over the next 3 weeks, you just mix them around through your various. I mean, Disney owns every goddamn network you can think of, so it's like between all those networks and the TV spots they have, I thought they were fine. I didn't really think they were going to do much, but I think Disney is no longer worried about making this movie successful. I really think that for them, this is not going to be a success unless it beats Avatar. And so they're having to figure out, how can we market this movie to every possible person on the earth? And I don't think they need to do that. I don't think they need to do that. They just need to make it really good for the fans, and we'll all go see it 5 or 6 times, the same way we did the original. And that it'll make $2 billion. Because you've got tons of Star Wars fans out there, and we're probably going to drag our wives even if they don't want to go, and or our husbands if they don't want to go. And most of us, if the movie's halfway geared towards kids, I've got a young child, and so if I can take him, I will. If I can't, I won't, and I'll wait and I'll buy it and we'll watch it at home or something in a year or so. But I don't think that. It's going to be, it needs to be marketed to everybody, but that's what Disney's doing. That's why they're cutting up all these different versions of these trailers or teasers, is because they want to show the movie in as many different lights. But if you look, the actual images that you're seeing are not really that different. They're just in different orders with different voiceovers. So I'm okay with it as long as they don't start giving me too much more. I would like to see, if they do continue to keep putting out teasers, I want to see some focus on the dark side, though. I want to see some focus on Kylo. I'd like to see a tease of Snoke. I don't want to see him. I don't want to be spoiled. But I'd like to see a tease, maybe a little bit more dialogue from that character. Just a little tease. Maybe, a little tease of General Hux. Maybe actually hear Captain Phasma speak or give an order. Those things, again, we know they exist. I don't think it's gonna give anything away, but I think that would be just cool. But again, at this point, I don't think they're marketing to the Star Wars fans anymore. I think we're kind of just benefiting from the fact that they're trying to go after everybody, and so we're getting little bits and pieces more of the movie. But so the other big news that came out, and we're going to talk about 2 more things. So number 1, JJ he was up doing an event with Stephen Colbert, and gave a big interview that said he had 6 things left to do and the movie was done. I'm actually surprised. I thought he would be done by now. I really thought that, at this point, everybody and their mother at Disney has already seen the final cut of the movie, and it's basically ready to go. It's in the can. But he actually still has some things he's tweaking. So if that doesn't show you right there that the passion he's got about this movie, he is going to be tweaking things until probably the last possible minute. And he may even say it's done, but I have a feeling that up until the dang things are shipped out and everybody's got them in the theater, he may be finishing mixes. So that's great. I'm great to see that he's still so passionate about it up until the final moment where he actually gets to let it go. But so it's still not quite done. He's still mixing. So we're still mixing the movie. We got 6 big things that he's still working on, and so it's still a work in progress, even a couple of weeks before the release. And then here's the thing that I really wanted to talk about. So this is the big talk I want to have, which is we had some spoilers come out. And again, I don't necessarily know if they're spoilers or not, because I have to think that for somebody to get their hands on this book, well, first let me tell you what happened. A children's book was, pictures of a children's book was released on the internet, and it had some storyline releases on it. And so when it came out, I think like every other fan, I've been ravenous to just give me more. Um, and when it was released, I immediately clicked on the link, wanted to go out there and read and see, confirm my suspicions that I have been having, my theories that I've been having. And I felt ugly. I felt ugly afterwards. I really did. I felt like wrong. And even though I don't know that this is going to be a huge surprise, because again, I would have to think that for them to have these already made and for somebody to have gotten their hands on it that is going to post pictures of it, somebody who isn't signed an NDA, that means that they're probably not far from going out on the shelves. So I would bet that it's something that's probably going to be put out on the shelf before the movie comes out. So I would think that with that in mind, we're probably not getting anything that Disney didn't want us to get before the movie anyway. But I still felt ugly. I really did. And it could all be a lie. I mean, it may not actually be the story within the movie. It could just be something that they made up for this kid's book. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get into it, not because I'm trying to be noble or anything, but honestly, if you want to make that decision for yourself, that you want to go out there and spoil the movie for you, then you do that. And honestly, it's not hard. You go out there to Google, you type in Star Wars spoilers, and you're going to get probably more than that. You'll probably get spoilers that I don't even know about. I've made the decision after doing this, after I got that ugly feeling in my stomach when I read those things, I got this feeling that I don't want to do that anymore, because I've always, and let me preface this by saying this, I've always been the person, at least over the past 10 years or so, to where I don't care about spoilers. I want to know if it's going to be worth my time for just about anything, because I've been burned so much in the past by getting excited about something, and then I finally sit down and do it, and it's not at all what I want. Like Arrested Development for me, for those who know that show, when they came out with the new season, I was so excited. I mean, I was following it. I was part of the campaign, the write-in campaign, the petitions. I did it all for Arrested Development. And when they came out with the new series, or the new season, I was so disappointed. I mean, I enjoyed aspects of it, but so disappointed, that I invested so much effort to have them completely change the way that the show that I came to love. And I think overall, even Mitch Hurwitz, who created the series, would agree that he didn't do that the way he should have. But that's an example. So anyway, the point of what I'm saying is that I have always been one where I don't mind spoiling myself if I can just make sure that it's worth it, that the story is going to be worth my time. This is one instance, though, with the new Star Wars movie, where I've kind of made this choice where I don't want to spoil this for me. I really, really want to walk into that movie, sit down, and watch this for the first time, with my family, and enjoy it, and just soak it in, and really immerse myself in this story, and not be spoiled. So I've made the decision that on this particular talk, which I'm actually surprised we're starting to get a lot more views, which is great, but I'm not going to talk about spoilers. So you can always come here and listen, and you don't have to worry about being spoiled. I won't even discuss it. I'm not going to go looking for it. People who link spoilers, in their, there are other people out there talking Star Wars. Anything comes out, they immediately put up a video, and here's the link to the spoiler. I'm not going to talk about it. I felt as though I may have spoiled a very large part of the movie for myself by going out when those images from that book came out, and to this moment I still have an ugly feeling like I just ruined a big part of the movie for myself, because my mind works so sharply that I think I put together what's going to be one of the big reveals just through reading those stories and knowing what I know about the trailers and everything else. So if that storyline is in line with the real story, I think I probably know a big secret of what's going to happen in the movie. And it's if I'm right, and again, now I have to sit through the movie knowing that I think I know what's going to happen. And if I'm right, I feel like it's going to be a little bit less impactful to me because it happened. And so I don't like that feeling, and so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to put you guys in that position. I want you to come here and feel safe. Like what I'm talking about here is only going to be based on what Disney and what JJ have put out. And I don't think that they're going to put out anything that is going to spoil the movie for anybody. So that's why, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but at this point, I think they've worked too hard on it. So anything else, and I really push it on you guys too, because what makes spoilers get so big is the want for the information. So if you don't go looking for it, and you don't click on the articles, and you don't share them, you know, they don't ever get as big. I mean, and I say that broadly, knowing that it would take millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people with that attitude in order to make people stop spoiling the movie for everybody. But at a certain point with this movie, there's so many of us that have been waiting for so long for this to come out that I think we owe it to each other to stop at this point. Like, no more. If you work you work at a Target, or you work at a Walmart, or you work someplace and you got books, or you got something in, and you're in the know, and you're back in that stock room, and you're going through the boxes getting ready to stock something, and you see something that is going to be amazing, you know, or has something to do with the movie that you think you want to share, just don't do it. Don't take that picture. Don't post it. Don't put it out there. If it's not part of the official marketing for the movie, don't. If you work in a movie theater, and God forbid you're lucky enough to get a copy of this movie a few days before it comes out, don't go recording it on your freaking cell phone and posting it on the internet. I mean, it's just don't do it. Don't spoil it for everybody. Let's enjoy it. Let's all go into that theater on the night of the 17th and sit down and watch this for the first time and fully immerse ourselves in this new world that's been built. That seems like it's just going to be everything we could want it to be. So anyway, there's my rant on the spoilers. And again, if you want to go out and look at the images from the book, I really hope that Disney didn't put this out. You know, I really hope that this was something that was not meant to go out until like December 19th or something, because I really think that if this is a book that is released prior to the movie coming out, it spoils something big that I think is going to happen. And again, it doesn't directly; it's a very indirect spoiler, but it just has to be with, if you've been watching every bit of the promotion that's been put out by Star Wars and by Lucasfilm and by Disney, you can't help but notice an absence of something in this children's book that happens right at a key moment. And so, anyway, go out there if you want to watch it. I really recommend just don't. It's not worth it. Keep tuning in here, because I promise you I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. But if you want to talk about anything that Disney put out, or you want to talk about any of my theories, I was happy to see. I will say this about the new spoiler footage. One of my theories that was in one of my previous videos got confirmed. If this is really the real story, one of my theories that I came up with that I've been preaching was confirmed in that book release. So I think I'm on the right track in my own mind anyway. So I just would rather confirm my own suspicions by watching the movie, not by having some sneaky person go in there and steal intellectual property and post it out there for other people. So it makes me feel ugly, and I felt bad the minute I clicked on that and went and looked at it. So let's not do it. Let's make a pact as Star Wars fans. Let's just don't do it, and stay away from those spoilers, because I really think that this is going to be one you don't want to ruin. Everything that they've put out that's official makes this look like it's going to be the best Star Wars movie ever made. And I say that knowing full well that the originals are my favorite, easily in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. So you're talking about 3 of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And I think that this one is going to be even better than those, because you have a director who really knows the story, who was invested in it as I was, but is more talented than any of the directors from the original 3. Not because, and again, I say that knowing that there's 3 decades difference between when they were filming, but JJ just had that time when technology has caught up to where he's developed this unique vision and a way of telling a story visually that I don't think was in any of the previous other films. And the same thing with the effects. The effects now are even better than they were when, 15 years ago when, Phantom Menace came out, and it was revolutionary back then. So the effects are better, the storyteller's better, and I think the story is going to be as good, if not better, than the original stories, because we've got the same actors, but some new actors, some new meat in there that seem like they are ready to just tear this apart. So we have the potential here to have one of the best movies of all time in terms of sci-fi, not just in the Star Wars realm, not just in the sci-fi realm, but if it's on par with what I think it's going to be, this could be just one of the best movies of all time. So we'll see as it progresses, but I would say knowing that you have that potential, and I'm trying not to overhype it, but knowing that you have that potential, I don't want to ruin it for myself. And I really hope that you guys don't want to ruin it for yourselves. So know that you can come here and we won't talk about anything that's not official release. Anything that doesn't come out from Disney or Lucasfilm, we're not going to talk about it on here. And what I mean about that is I'm not going to go out and watch it and talk about it. Now, I may mention that something came out, but I'm not going to go out and look at it. And I'm not going to bring it in here and talk about it. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the talk. Please check out my other videos, my other theories that we have going on. And we will come back tomorrow. I had not planned to talk about this today. I had a different discussion in mind. But tomorrow, it'll give me more time to kind of write down some of my thoughts about another theory that I have. And we'll see what you guys think about that. So come back tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, share. If you have other friends that are Star Wars fans, please tell them about this. It's a safe place to come and hear about Star Wars and Star Wars theories, where I promise you this is only crap that's coming from my head. I'm not going out there anymore. I'm not researching spoilers. I'm not going to try and ruin the film for anybody. If I'm right, I'm right, but that's all. That's as far as it goes. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day.